Here we go. All right, so that's kind of what I was talking about. Um, Obviously, we sort of drew the right combination of cards there to be able to do some pretty broken things. Um, However, I think that overall, kind of showcased the strength of some of the cards in our deck and was pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to keep both of these cards. Sunset Paragon is pretty good. I'm definitely going to replace Sunseer just because I kind of have other better stuff to play. We're playing second this turn, which means that we start with 3 mana. So my first turn play is almost certainly going to be these two. Getting this thing going on the first turn is pretty good, and then having the Blood Tear Alchemist to potentially, knock a health point off of something. So my only question is whether I want to replace the Sunset Paragon or not. I think the answer is yes. It's a little situational. We might have a hard time playing it. I have a lot of 5-drops in my deck, so I don't want to get clogged up. For all of those reasons, I'll choose to oh, excuse me. Whew. Got a yawn there. Alright, a Maw. Alright, that's fine. Look, Maw. Alright, so in this case, I think I'm actually just going to play these two. There are a lot of ways for Kara to clear this card here, which is a little awkward. So I could also, but I think denying the mana tile is pretty powerful, so using the removal spell is worth it. And then at that point, I think I'm just going to be getting rid of this. So I'm just going to do this as such. Fighting over early board control in Gauntlet is like really important. Being able to be the one who has like if at any point you have more minions on the board than your opponent at the start of your turn, that's really good for you. I'm really surprised my opponent didn't want to take the middle space in the map. So this spot is really powerful because then you kind of have dominion over both of these mana tiles, and now my opponent, I don't see what they gain because I can still hit them. It's not like I think my opponent made actually a pretty big mistake by doing that. So I'm just going to walk up here, trade damage, and provoke. And I think that the cards in my hand are good enough that I don't want to get rid of them, although maybe, no, I have better cards than Earthwalker at this point. So I'll actually get rid of that. So I think that now you see my opponent is in trouble because they're kind of like here, and Yoon the Battle Pet. Sure. That's pretty strong. Let's see. So I can Dire Tide Frenzy and Eggmorph. I can also just Eggmorph, which might be worth it. I mean, it's a pretty big thing. Kind of sucks that I wouldn't get to play 2 things this turn. I think I'll start by replacing this. Alright, not ideal. It's going to make me want to Dire Tide Frenzy this. Yeah, I mean, I guess I have to. I could also, move in such a way, I could move this back and move myself forward. And then, Golden Justicar here. But then I'm just taking so much damage. Yeah, I don't really love that. I think I like just Egg Morphing and attacking here and then pumping myself and just going to stay in the middle. The middle tile is still pretty powerful. I have dominion over the mana tiles, as I said. So yeah, I guess that's what we're going to do. Here's where we want to draw Sunset Paragon. And this game is looking really, really good for us. I mean, we just have ways to kind of really restrict our opponent's movement. And then, yeah. So here what we can do is, let's see. So I can move back. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I'm just going to keep all the cards in my hand. Although, actually, no, Plasma Storm is not going to be great because my opponent can use their Bloodborne spell. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to play this here. We're going to attack this Hailstone Golem. We're going to give this Frenzy, and we're going to attack my opponent. They take a bunch of damage. I have a 4/4 Frenzy. They lose their thing, and I have now 2 Provokers in play that have a ton of mobility, which is really good. And so this is kind of what I'm talking about, is like if you have the opportunity to ever have like 2 minions in play on your opponent's turn, that's really good for you. And my opponent can use that to clear this out, and I mean that is good. It's certainly not bad, but now my opponent's going to go to 4, and I get to play like 2 more things. Really, they have another play. They have a 1-drop. A Blood-Tear Alchemist would be pretty good here. A Snow Chaser. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so your other provoke minions. Here I think I'll just get rid of this, because it's not great. Okay, so the question is... No, I don't have to choose. Alright, so we're going to move this up here, we're going to move this up here, and we're just going to box our opponent in now so they can't really move. We're going to use this, put Grimrock here, and we'll put Blood-Tear Alchemist right here. Go ping ya! And now our opponent is really boxed in, and they're going to have a bad time. So you kind of saw the power of like the Primus Shieldmaster there, just being a sticky unit, was really, really, really good. And we were able to just like get control of the board really quickly with our powerful provoke minions. And our deck actually generally is probably going to want to go second, because you kind of aren't going to get choked on mana ever, and you don't get punished for not having many 2-drops in your deck. Like having a lot of 3-drops and a lot of 1-drops like we have is actually pretty good on the draw, as you saw, but super awkward on the play. So, I mean, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I feel like I've won this game, because even if somehow my opponent can clear my entire board, not die, and clear my entire board, not die, and get away from me, I have a Sunset Paragon, probably to clear their blocker, and also my hand's just going to be decent. So I think that my opponent is just going to tank and tank and tank and tank, and then hopefully concede. Can't do it, man. They're just wasting my time. They're like not even moving their tile. Alright, fine. There you go. The spiteful part of me in my heart kind of wants to let my whole timer run down until I attack them as a way of spiting them, but that's probably not very good behavior. Alright, so we're 2-1.